Let's do a 30-day challenge. In 30 days, we're gonna make your blood pressure go down. Week number 1, we're gonna discuss everything that you need to know about the diet. Week number 2, we're gonna discuss all the things you need to know to reduce your stress, reduce anxiety, reduce cortisol levels, and help you so that you can lower your blood pressure. Week number 3, we're gonna discuss everything you need to know about exercise. And week number 4, we're gonna discuss how to manage your doctor rather than your doctor managing you as if you were just a bunch of numbers. So come back every day, take your blood pressure in the morning before you watch my videos, and let's monitor together to see if we can lower our blood pressure. Day 29, this is going to be a very controversial day because there is just simply no right answer, although you would think there's a right answer, and we're going to discuss whether or not your blood pressure should go up as you age. This is a difficult subject. Here is what you need to know. The numbers are always changing. Now, currently, the numbers are, regardless of your age, regardless of your race, regardless of your gender, everyone should be lower than 120/80. So just a little bit of background. When I graduated from chiropractic school in 2015, we essentially learned that when a person's blood pressure is 140/90, it's time to really start talking to them about their lifestyle. Ideally, you do it before, right, for prevention, but when someone's blood pressure is 140/90, it's time to tell them, hey dude, you are in trouble. You either change your lifestyle or you're gonna end up on medication. If their blood pressure got to 160 for the systolic, then it's referral. Then obviously they're not going to change their lifestyle and they need to go to the medical doctor and just be put on numerous blood pressure medications. That's the standard by which we were taught in the 90s. Now in 2012, the Cochrane collaboration, and you could just Google this stuff and look this stuff up, found that a lot of people were being overprescribed medications, particularly blood pressure medications, and there are so many side effects of that, and they just quite frankly didn't need it. Well, then it didn't take long before new research came out after they said that. In 2015, it was the Sprint research, or the Sprint study in the New England Journal of Medicine. And essentially, everyone below 120/80 is considered normal. Anybody above that is simply on the process of needing aggressive drug therapy. So just recently, last year in 2021, in the JAMA, which is Journal of the American Medical Association, that's an American thing, they found that lowering people's blood pressure, they had all these benefits, that it reduces the risk of stroke and heart attacks, which it does. But the problem was it increased kidney dysfunction and increased hospitalizations for kidney disease, as well as there were concerns for dementia. So this is very confusing to people, and a lot of doctors are questioning these guidelines because we're getting people's blood pressure so low that they're having side effects. And the question is it worth it if you're older? So let's do a little background information to think physiologically what's happening when someone has high blood pressure or normal blood pressure. As you age, as I age, our arteries and our blood vessels will become a little bit stiffer. This is considered normal. It's considered normal aging, but is it? If I were to say that wrinkles, like the crow's feet here on your skin, occurs as you age, it's just an inevitable part of aging, no one would question that. But if I said you have wrinkled face disease and we need to treat it aggressively, and as you age, the skin becomes less pliable, and thus you look older, and that's a major disease and it needs to be medicated or surgically corrected, you'd think I was freaking nuts. So the million-dollar question is, as someone gets into their 70s, 80s, 90s, shouldn't their arteries become less pliable? Shouldn't their arteries become a little bit stiffer? Why would we even want that? The reason we would want our arteries to become a little bit stiffer as we get older is because when our heart beats, it needs pressure for the blood to go through the artery. If the artery has hardly any stiffness to it, it's just an expansive, pliable, non-pressurized hose, then it's going to be hard to perfuse blood and oxygen to the necessary organs, particularly our kidneys. And this is why most of the studies always end in, well, we need more studies. That's kind of a funny statement, but there have been lots of studies that show that when people get significantly older, unless there's other comorbidities that you have to deal with, a little bit higher blood pressure as we get older should be considered normal. Just like my old wrinkly skin. My old wrinkly skin is a lot different than when I was 20. And this is with hours and hours of cycling. Imagine how good I'd look if I stayed out of the sun. But think of how much fun I would have never had. Anyway, that's beside the point. The point is that this aggressive treating to try to get people below 120/80, not everybody agrees with. And so it's worth talking to your doctor if this type of thought process is right for you. You may be surprised that you go to one doctor and they're like, nope, regardless of your age, regardless of your gender, regardless of your ethnic background or your past medical history, everyone should be below 120/80. Other doctors actually feel as though, well, wait a minute, hold on one second. If your blood pressure, let's say, is 130/85, for example, I'm just using that, but everyone in your family has lived to be 95 years old, and you yourself don't have any particular comorbidities, things that would complicate this situation, and your overall health is good, all your other health markers are good, and this just happens to be your particular blood pressure, and it's been like that forever, some doctors believe that maybe you shouldn't be lowering that person's blood pressure to, these insane levels of below 120/80. So that is the topic of today, and the reason why this is important is because this is something you really need to discuss with your own personal physician. And if you feel as though they are giving you too strict of guidelines and they're treating you too aggressively, you're more than welcome to always get a second opinion. So if you are curious if there are any natural solutions to lowering your blood pressure, there is. Probably the most effective one is magnesium. Any type of magnesium that you take will probably affect your blood pressure. Some will affect it more than others. Right now I'm going to list for you here a number of different magnesiums that you can possibly take. My advice would be to take them all, and there is a magnesium supplement called Magnesium Breakthrough. It's by a company named Bioptimizers, and they have all of these magnesiums in their own supplement. So it really takes the guesswork out of it. It'll help your heart, it'll help your sleep, it'll help your blood pressure, and it's one of the best magnesium supplements out on the market. They are the video sponsor for today, so I will put their link down below if you want to look and see if that product would be good for you. But either way, one of the best things that you can do for your blood pressure is to take a magnesium supplement.